Let's do it. All right. Welcome to Master Memories, the podcast where my friends talk about their lives. Today, on May 28th, 2023, I'm here with Shannon and Nicole. Angle. McCalmont. This is the first time I've done this. I apologize. Why the fuck did I just blank on your name?
I don't know. It's the Nicole that threw you off.
Yeah, Shannon Nicole McCalmont, aka Shannaford, aka Shelby, aka the best blank ever, aka you and Megan Ahern both as Nicole for 2 weeks.
True.
And
your wife.
And aka my hot wife.
I think I was their hot wife.
Yeah.
Yes. The best wife.
Both true. AKA any other nicknames I missed?
No, I think you got them all.
Sweet.
Shannaford's the best.
Yeah, that's the go-to.
That's the one you made up. Yeah.
That's the elongated version of Shannon.
Yeah, that's my first name.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shannon's a nickname.
What is your first memory of me and you?
I feel like launch week for Mal, there was so many, and I can't pick which was, like, the very first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were so many, like, random ones of you, like, watching Bachelor in Paradise with Kylie and I,
mm-hmm.
or, like, just always shirtless, singing or something.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I think this story is, like, it has to be one of the first, and I feel like it speaks to your character, so I'll tell this one instead. Which, even though it probably isn't the very first, but it was definitely first week of, like, classes. It was, like, syllabus week.
Yeah.
And, like, I, like, was never, like, a partier or anything in, like, high school or anything like that, but I had a few friends from high school that were in Dell the year above us. And they texted me on a Thursday night of syllabus week, and they're like, hey, you should totally come to this Dell party. And I'd never been to a frat party in my life. And I asked Kylie, I was like, Kylie, would you go with me? And she was like, I don't know, like, it's a Thursday night, like, is it weird to go out? And I was like, I don't know, it's weird for me too, but, like, I feel like we have nothing else to do, like, let's go.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let's go. So looking up the address, and we're like, it's on 15th, like, that's so far away. And I was like, okay, like, everyone kept talking about the safety of campus and, like, being vigilant and, like, having people walk you places. And so Kylie and I asked you if you could walk us to our the Delt frat party. Well, I think we asked if you could go, because I didn't realize that frats were strict.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Landon, do you want to go to this, like, Delt frat party with us? And you're like, yeah, like, let's go. And it was a Thursday night, and we all thought we were, like, so bad, like, so crazy for, like, going to a frat party on a Thursday night. And so you walked us all the way there. You were wearing, like, a little, like, button-down shirt and everything, which was so nice. We get there, and they didn't let you in because you're a boy.
Yeah.
And you weren't in Delt. And we were like, what the heck? Like, that's so crazy. And you're like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll just wait and pick you guys up after. And so I forget if you went home or what, but then you came back and got Kylie and I after the frat party and walked us back home. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I found such good friends at Ohio State that, like, you were willing to do that.
Yeah. I forget that happened a lot. I mean, because that was, like, when I still had a beard and, like, you know, when you were still Nicole at the time, because I just could not distinguish between you or Megan. Also couldn't know your first name. But no, I feel like that's a blast from the past. There's a picture of us, like on that walk somewhere.
Yes,
like, I'll
the
throw
three
it
of
up,
us.
like, right over here. But, no, that's a good time. That's like, I feel like you said, like, this, we probably, like, talked before, considering, you know, probably not going to ask a stranger to walk you, but
yeah.
Really that's, like, the first, like, time we actually, like
made a memory together.
Yeah.
Like, I have memories of you being, like, your funny self, but, like,
yeah.
My first, like, story with you of college was, like, my first time going out on a Thursday night, and you being, like, kind enough to walk us to and from Delt frat party, which probably we didn't even have to go to, and probably was not even any fun to begin with, but...
It's crazy, like, looking back now, it's like how, you know, like, as a freshman, it's like, oh, going out on Thursday, like, you're so bad, like...
I know. I remember, like, Kylie being, like, so nervous about it, and I was, like, definitely nervous, too, but I was, like, this one phrase I said, Kylie, like, used, like, the rest of college, and I was, like, we need to have stories to tell our kids one day, and...
It's a good mindset.
So whenever I'd be like, I don't want to do something, she's like, we have to have stories to tell our kids one day. I'm like, you're right, I said it.
No, I feel you. I saw a TikTok that was, like, you know, debating on if I should go out on Wednesday but then thinking about how I'll have an extra dad lore to tell my kids.
Yes! Exactly. It's important. Exactly. Making memories.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like parent lore especially, like, just so much fun. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know about you, but I feel like, I haven't learned, like, everything about my parents all at once, to be fair. I mean, but, like, it's just, like, slowly peeling back at, like, okay, this is what you did here? Like, I just found out, like, my mom is, like, So I always thought like her parents were like in South Africa for generations, but it's like she's a first generation South African, which is just wild. Because it was like always like, you know, Granny and Grandpa were there, and then their parents were there, and nope, they're all Lithuanian before that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I know, it is peeling back an onion with them. I feel like it won't be for me. I feel like when I have kids, I'm going to tell them every story I have just without them asking, and they're going to get sick of them.
I mean, you'll have some stories that you like forget to tell. I mean, that's
true.
So like I only found this out recently that my dad has been at Muirfield. He went golfing with my uncle who loves to golf, and then my dad like played 3 holes and then went to go eat ice cream with my aunt. But my uncle told me that at my sister's wedding, and since then I've heard it like 5 or 6 times. But like my dad completely forgot about it, so it's like still like the lore you don't even remember.
So true.
What were you doing today before we started filming?
So I'm in Columbus for my friend Lauren's wedding tonight, and so I stayed with Shiv, woke up, had a Buckeye donut with him, which was the best way to start the day.
Mm-hmm.
Then got Roman Go coffee with Sammy and Chris, which was great. So just checking off all the people I need to see in Columbus, and now I'm here. It's like 11 a.m. and just pre-wedding podcast.
Yeah, I can't believe you flew out all this way just for a podcast episode. It's crazy.
For your birthday and the podcast.
And mostly the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I had to get it before you moved to Chicago.
Yeah, turned out pretty well.
It did.
Which side note, you got to visit me in Chicago. I know I haven't been the best in Atlanta, but I also haven't visited my sister in Atlanta. So
I know, you could do a 2-for-1.
Yeah, no, I got to come. I mean, like you get, or I'll come out for like something. I don't know.
Braves game,
Hawks game, Falcons. You guys have a lot of bird themed things.
We do.
Yeah.
And the Atlanta United soccer games are actually my favorite.
Really?
They're really fun. It's at Mercedes-Benz, and they're like really good, super fun. So.
I feel like MLS is on the rise. When we went to St. Louis, you know, the St. Louis Kansas City game was like people were getting rowdy for that.
Yeah. I know soccer's awesome. You don't have to know much about it. Like, you can just enjoy.
Oh, I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I'm going to a crew game Wednesday with my dad.
Fun.
Yeah.
That stadium's cool. I passed it the other day.
Yeah, lower?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've been to the new stadium.
I just saw it from a distance. It looked cool. The new one.
Yeah.
Is that lower, the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I don't know what's going to, soccer-wise, I don't know what's going to be the Cincy one, because that one's sick.
That's awesome. We went last summer.
Yeah.
FC Cincinnati.
Fuck yeah.
Best. But I am going to Chicago in July.
Alright, well, I might not be moved in by then, so.
End of July. I think the 21st.
I will probably be out of town that weekend because I'm either, if I'm not moving to Chicago that weekend, I'm going to Cleveland because that's the last time for a while that me, Evan, Hudson, and Adam are going to be on Cleveland, so.
Oh.
Because you know how Adam is with his whole psychology.
Yeah. Mr. Doctor.
Just too busy for us.
I know.
What's your typical day or week look like right now?
So I live in Atlanta, and I work for Home Depot's Design Center.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday through Wednesday we are in person in the office. So wake up, drive to work. I really enjoy like my coworkers. So the first hour of like just chatting with everyone, and then those days are really busy with like meetings and presentations. So, like those days fly by. I usually try and get lunch with some of my start class friends, Paige, whoever, at the office. Mm-hmm. And then since being in postgrad, I've gotten really into cycling.
Really?
And yoga, like I've always done. But like the commute home from work stinks with Atlanta traffic. Like it could take me 45 minutes if I just like left right after work. So I've been doing like, I drive to my workout classes right after work to kill time, wait out traffic. And then I drive back home, so like that's been a really fun routine. And my roommate Zoe does all the same workouts that I do. So we we'll carpool sometimes, or we at least go, if we couldn't carpool, we go to the same workout classes. Mm-hmm. We drive home, we get back by 6:30, which is so nice. I've already done work, worked out. Then we usually make dinner together. We really like to cook. And then we'll either shower and watch a movie together, or go on a walk, or maybe I'll have a wine night with some friends. So that's usually typical Monday through Wednesday. Thursday and Friday we work from home, which is nice. So I usually go on a walk at lunchtime. Mm-hmm. And Thursdays we do trivia typically at our favorite bar called Smith's. And Friday I get off at 3:30, and we usually do go out that night in some capacity. It's our more dancey fun night. So pregame, go out to dinner, go out. Smith's is usually where we go dancing too. Smith's has it all, trivia and dancing.
Shout out Smith's.
Shout out Smith's old bar in Atlanta. And then on Saturday, it's like very much spend time outside. So like their Beltline is like the walking and biking trail through Atlanta, and I live right on it. So we'll go like day drinking on the Beltline, or just like hang out in Piedmont Park and have a picnic. It's just spend time outside. More recently, it's been pool days because it's been hot. And Saturday night is like really chill usually. Like we kind of are like tired from the week, and maybe we'll watch a movie or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday mornings, I've been in a better routine of going to church on Sunday mornings, which I've been liking, and go grocery shopping, call a ton of people on Sundays, like my family, get caught up, make dinner with my roommate, and then it starts all over again. That's kind of been like my pretty typical routine in Atlanta.
Have you come down packed?
I know. I've been actually really liking it. Like, it was weird going from, like, college to having, like, no routine. Every single day is different.
Mm-hmm.
And being with people constantly. And when I moved to Atlanta, like, the first, like, 2 months felt super weird. Like, I felt like I needed to be doing something all the time. Or, like, it was weird having a routine. And then you get used to it. And, like, I, like, love having my, like, my schedule how it is.
Oh, I feel like there's, like, it's nice to, like on the one hand, like the spontaneity of college where it's just like every day is different, but like every day is an adventure versus like real life where it's like, I don't know, it's a little, I don't know if mundane is the right word, but at the same time it's like you have structure to your life, you know, you're able to like, you know what's coming and prepare for stuff, you know?
Yeah, sleep schedule's been like super consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like always good to have things to look forward to, like, like that's kind of like the bones of my week, but like there's always something fun going on. Like maybe it's a date that week, or maybe it's like I'm going out of town that weekend to visit friends, or someone's coming to visit. So there's structure, but with like, and that's the bones, but there's little like jewels throughout that like make it exciting and different. But I like having just like little things to spice it up instead of like every single day you're like sleeping different hours and doing whatever.
Yeah, it's like 75% like structure, 25% spontaneity versus like the other way around in college.
Yes, that's such a good way of putting it, yeah.
So where do you lean politically? Why?
I don't really fully identify like as a political person.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like choose my thoughts per like topic, and I would say majority of the things I lean to are liberal. So like if I had to pick one, I would say like moderate to liberal based on the amount of topics I would agree with more on that end. But essentially I just like believe in like human basic rights is like I would say the way I kind of describe my political views, and that like everyone deserves to be like equally listened to, equally treated, like all humans no matter where they come from. And I believe that like a lot of the time like we have a right to like make decisions for ourselves, and like not have like state and religion be a like common like one thing, because with how diverse America is, like you can't really have that be the deciding factor for a lot of things, in my opinion. But yeah, I just believe that like everyone should be treated fairly equally, and I would say I lean more liberal, but I wouldn't call myself a very political person.
Yeah.
I like am like so pro voting, like I try and vote in every election I can, and I think it's like a waste of your civic duty to not vote. But I don't love to like talk about politics, or debate them with people.
Don't blame you. It's kind of a minefield, especially nowadays. So, and going to the kind of why part, like, do you know kind of what might have influenced your like views of, I guess all people treating equally under the eyes of the law, or?
My family never grew up super politically. Like, I don't even know where my parents, like, stand. So I just feel like me being a very empathetic person by nature is kind of what has led me to think like that. Like, when you hear of, like, people's stories and how, like, the law hasn't been fair to them, like, it just breaks my heart just as, like, being a human person that feels for people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more of just, like, I don't like to think too deeply about all of it. It's just like if something breaks my heart or like it makes me sad, like I just feel like everyone deserves to have like basic human rights and be treated fairly, because like I'm a human who would like that.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
Yeah, just kind of a gut feeling and where my heart sits, but yeah.
No, I get it. I feel like to your point, I feel it's more from the heart than like, influence from other people.
Yeah.
Like be, treat well people.
Exactly. I've been like kind of lucky that no one's ever tried to like shove a certain belief system on me, or like because I grew up this way is because like that's why I am. Like I think it's kind of nice that like I've just gotten to make the decisions for myself on like a case by case basis and listen to my heart and like how I think I would want to be treated as an American in this world.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of your family, what's your relationship like with your family?
It's super great. I am the middle of 5 kids, and my parents are lovely. They just celebrated their 30-year wedding anniversary last week.
Well, congrats.
I know. So, like, that's awesome. And, like, my siblings are from the ages of, it's like 27, 25, I'm 23, 21, and then 17. So, like, super close in age.
Mm-hmm.
And we grew up incredibly, like, family-oriented. Like, every single Sunday, or every single night we had family dinner. Not just Sundays, but Sundays were probably like a little more special because we'd like cook out and everything. But every single night we had family dinners. Even if there was sports, my mom would be like, family dinner at 4:30 p.m. so we could like all sit together before we all go off to like our practices and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that is awesome. Most of them are in Ohio. Kylie's in Denver and I'm in Atlanta. But we still like make it a point to see each other. Like this is my like 4th time in Ohio since moving to Atlanta. They've come down twice. So it's really great, and I call them multiple times a week, and my siblings are like my best friends. So I love them, and I'm so blessed to have like this relationship with my family that I do.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys are like a big Brady bunch, I swear.
We are.
Yeah.
I like love having a big family. Like I want to have a lot of kids too, I think one day, because I mean, I don't know anything any different than like having 4 siblings, but it's like having 4 friends, and everyone has like their such unique personalities now, and like now that we're all like old enough to like be like adults, it's cool. Like it's the relationships have changed in like such a fun way. Like I actually ask them for advice, and then like you get to travel. Like just going out and visiting my sister in Denver for like a week in March, I'm like that's probably so fun for for our parents to like be like. They, like, love and care about each other enough that, like, they go and visit each other on their own without, like, someone asking them to visit them. Or, like, and having, like, a whole week of, like, just time with your sister who's someone you're so comfortable with, has known you your entire life, 23 years, and is, like, now a friend.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What were those like, dinners like growing up? I'm curious because I've, like, I think it was, like, a 10-year gap between Kylie and Steven, like... just kind of imagine like the controlled chaos of like all 7 of you around one table.
Yeah, well, Michael and Steven are super hyperactive, and they were like never wanting to sit still, and they were always like, I remember when they'd finish eating, there'd be like a pile of food underneath their table, and I'm like, what did you guys do? Just like fling food around? So like they were always like chaotic, and we would typically like be yelling at them, or like one of them would fart and we'd all get so mad that they were farting at the dinner table. And so they definitely were the chaos, absolutely. The rest of us were pretty chill, usually yelling at them to like stop being annoying.
Yeah.
They weren't always these like peaceful family dinners. Like we were kind of fighting sometimes just because you have 5 kids like being annoying. And then Kylie always like was such a picky eater. So like if my mom was making spaghetti, she would have to make... My sister didn't like red sauce, so she had to make my sister something different. And so my mom was just the true angel, like keeping peace, making everyone their separate meals because everyone's picky eater, and like trying to please everyone. And they're usually rushed because we're going to sporting events, but regardless, like super special. They're different now. They're definitely more civilized now. But at the time, like food everywhere, yelling, chaos, and my mom just always being like, Steven, sit down. That was, like, a common one.
Yeah. No, I can imagine, especially, like, doing it every day. Like, like, I feel like I would I'm hyperactive. I'd probably be bouncing off the walls, too.
Yeah. Steven still is a little bit, but...
Yeah, he's got room to grow. He's 17,
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, shout out the entire McCalmon family. Y'all keep doing you. Michael, hopefully have you on the pod someday.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You should.
Yeah, no, he's on my my relegation list. I feel like I need a better word name for it, but it's like right now I have like
TBD or maybe
TBD list. Yeah. What do you think is your most unique talent?
I'm treating it more as like a trait versus like a I can juggle sort of thing.
Yeah.
I would say my like optimism is my like favorite thing about myself and like can be used as a talent in a lot of ways, like in friendship and even just like how I view life. Like it's just like an innate sense of like well-being that I always have. Like it could be the worst day ever and my brain just like doesn't go the opposite way. Like it is always like, oh, it's fine. Like everything's good. I'm learning this, or like this is going to be fine, or I'm looking forward to this. Like it's just this positivity that like is not fake in any way. And I feel like usually like friends, like when they're ever like asked to describe me, like it's one of the first things they say, or whenever people are asking me for advice, like they'll mention like I just need like a positive outlook, or like you have like a really great talent of like flipping a situation around and like really allowing people to like think through it in the positive light. And I think like I've truly like realized that as a strength as like college and on, more so than like in high school, because like life gets harder, and like with COVID happening being like this giant thing that everyone was dealing with, and like depression and mental health being like a really big topic and accurate conversation during that time, like being someone that is still thinking positively about the world and like a day-to-day situation, like being that light for people. And then even like for myself, like when I found out my job was pushed back and I like needed to re-recruit for like July after graduation, like for a week I was like down on myself, thinking I was like unlucky, and I was like, you know what, this is so not like me. And I was like, instead of taking this situation that is on the surface crappy, I was like, you know what, like there's no use feeling sorry for myself, there's no use thinking negatively about this. Like I, instead of like taking this situation that I didn't ask for, I'm gonna like fully flip it around and embrace it. And I had such a new light about it, and I was like, okay, like this is the universe telling me like this is not what I was supposed to do. And I like opened myself up back up to recruiting and ended up learning so much during that process and finding a situation that like I absolutely love and can't imagine like not doing. And so it was like I had to change my attitude first, which was like actually quite easy for me to do. So I think that's my favorite like talent, is like my like innate positivity.
Yeah, I will say like I mean, you hit it spot on. I feel like I've never seen you like, I've seen you maybe angry once or twice, but I've never seen you like down. It's like you're always just like I don't know. There's a better word for that, but positivity, like you said, and optimism. But yeah, how do you kind of keep going through that? I mean, like keep going to that, I should say. Like I don't know. How do you stay so positive throughout life?
I don't know. Like I said, I think it's like such a natural thing. It's not something I like really work on. And so I think part of it's just like genetics, or like my biology of like that is something that I can fully pinpoint it. Like my dad is like very similar. He's less bubbly. Yeah. But like we could be like, for example, this is like such a conversation my parents always have. My mom's like just very like real. My dad's very optimistic. I got the optimism. Like let's say we're going out on our boat and my mom's like, okay, like let's check the weather. And my dad will check the weather and it'll say like 40% chance of rain or like thunderstorms or something. Yeah. He's like, we're fine, 40% chance, like it's gonna be so good, like let's go out. Like, and if it rains, it's more fun. And my mom's like, no, it's totally gonna thunderstorm and we're gonna have to come back in and like blah blah blah. And so I think it's just like, and when I look at weather, I'm like, no, like it's like it's more fun if it rains. Like I don't know, like I don't like try. I know where I get it from. I get it from my dad, but yeah, I think I can't even like explain like how I do it, because I think it's just how my brain is like wired.
That's awesome. Yeah. If you can share your brain wiring with me, so I can just like reverse engineer it. Yeah. Make Shannon too land in edition.
Just tinker your brain a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, like I feel like we're all like a bunch of like dials and knobs and stuff. Like figure out what the setting is for that.
I know, but I think one thing I will share that has helped me become like more optimistic, which I think everyone can do and is like proven to help, is like focusing on gratitude. So if you do want some tip, I would say like gratitude journal, going on gratitude walks. Like when you like have to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to think positively right now, which like is what gratitude is, then like you like already have shifted your mood a little bit. So sometimes I guess you have to like look for the positives, but they're always there. Like you can have the worst day and you can go on a walk and like see a cute dog and be like, I'm grateful that I saw this dog and he's smiling at me, and like automatically like it's like a pro-social activity. You start feeling better about things, and like once you start, like, making that practice in your life of, like, noticing things that you're grateful for, like, it becomes a habit that you do without even trying.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one tip.
Yeah, looking for the silver linings and everything.
Yeah.
What were you doing when you first got the news of COVID?
I was on a service trip with AK Psi in Charleston, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing, like, a Wings for Kids, like, after-school program for, like, an inner-city school there. And it was, like, probably halfway through the trip when we got the email from Ohio State. That was, like, the first real thing. Like, you were hearing it in the news just ever so slightly. And I remember being, like, okay, like, this isn't going to affect anything, like, and then when we, like, were down there, we got an email from Ohio State saying, like, okay, your next, however, like, 2 weeks are virtual, and we were, like, excited, we were like, woo, like, let's stay in Charleston, like, let's go to the beach, let's get an Airbnb, and then, when we got the email, like, 2 days after that, it was, like, at the end of the trip, it was, like, the rest of your semester is virtual, and then that's when we were, like, oh crap, like, this now is no longer fun. We, like, drove back, and the vibes were just, like, so down. We got back to Ohio State and immediately, like, had to move out. My parents met me up there, cleared out my whole dorm. And then when I got back home, which I don't know if that's even part of the question, I was in Charleston, but when I got back home, I feel like my attitude changed a little bit, and it was fun. But where I was during the news was Charleston.
Actually leads into my next question.
Okay.
How was your quarantine?
Yeah. Once I was home, like, it was easy to be like, oh, dang, like, this kind of stinks. Like, that was, like, to lose that part of college was, like, at the time felt like such a big deal.
I forgot to turn this off. Makes my room smell good every 36 minutes.
Love that.
Yeah, no, it kind of blew in Sammy's face last time. So, the more you know, but sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, once I was home, like, all of our siblings were all, again, like I said, I'm super close with my family, we were all home, and I actually had a really great time, and I felt very blessed with, like, the quarantine that I did have, like, having a home to go back to, having my parents, like, cook for us all the time, like, having that time that I thought I would never live at home again at that point, like, because I was doing an internship in Columbus that summer, and then was going to go back to college, and then move somewhere else for, like, my full time. Like, I remember thinking, like, that, like, I never thought I had another, like, time at home.
Yeah.
And, like, to be given that was, like, actually, like, such a blessing. And we made the most of it. Like, I remember, like, 2 weeks after we got home for quarantine was St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we were eating dinner, and, like, we were all kind of like, well, this is, like, such a weird time of life. Yeah. And I was like, guys, it's St. Patrick's Day, and, like, we're Irish. And I made everyone put green on and go to our bar in our basement, and we had a party. Like, we, like, turned up the music, and my dad has his beer on tap, and we, like, had a St. Patrick's Day, like, party, just the 7 of us in my house. And I was like, okay, like, this would be fun. Like, we can make the most of this. Went on so many walks with my dog, and, like, my best friend ever, Paige, like, is in Mason, and, like, we hung out still all the time, and, like, we got closer during that time period, too, because, like, she was at school in South Carolina usually, and I was at Ohio State, so, like, I think I saw a lot of the positives throughout it of just, like, the people, and, like, I was still doing virtual happy hours with everyone, and, like, some of those virtual happy hour stories I was having, like, our stories we bring up today of, like, playing Pictionary online, and, like, the different drawings people would make, like, they're still inside jokes now, so, I don't know, like, my quarantine actually was, like, pretty good, considering.
Yeah, no, like you said, finding the silver linings of things.
Yeah.
And I feel like having is that probably the last time all 7 of you are going to be under one roof again now, too?
Yeah, it really was. Like, I fully embraced that point of time because, yeah, it never will happen again, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking about this with my sister, of, like, the next time all, like, 5 of us will be in one place is probably for, like, a wedding or family event or something, you know, so it's nice to get, like, especially, like, now with, like, you know, everyone being older and, you know, more mature, less, you know, Steven stopped farting. Yeah, no, that sounds like a pretty fun time, honestly, in Mason.
Yeah, it was. For what it was good.
What's your relationship like with your religion?
It is getting better. Like, I grew up Catholic, then, like, in high school, kind of felt more called to, like, non-denominational Christianity. It was just, like, more of, like, a feeling and less like a rule structure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And my siblings and I, like, went to Mason Big Public High School, but, like, the Christian community there was very strong, and we started kind of getting involved in Young Life and, like, different youth groups at our church, and my siblings were all, like, amazing, like role models during this time, and so it was something we all kind of, like, related to and, like, found a lot of communities with in high school. Like, my main group of friends was, like, from Young Life. We would go to Young Life camp each summer, and, like, the first 3 rows at church every Sunday were, like, me and all my high school friends, which is, like, such a unique experience now that at the time it felt normal, but talking to other people, like, people's high schools weren't like that.
Yeah.
And so...
in the front row, too.
Yeah. Like, and it was, like, I'd be like, sorry, Mom and Dad, I'm sitting with my friends at church. And, like, would go sit with, like, all my group of friends. And, like, it was awesome. It made following Jesus very easy because, like, when you have people around you all, like, pursuing the same thing. And it was, like, a really cool, beautiful time in life. And then when I went to college, I still followed and believed all in my heart, but, like, I didn't have the community around me that was, like, also really pursuing it. So it kind of fell to the back burner. I would say in college, like, I'd go to church when I could, but it wasn't a part of my routine.
Yeah.
And I went through phases of, like, joining a small group, and then, like, when it would end, I wouldn't seek out another one. So I think I just very much, like, got lost in just college being so busy. Sundays were, like, my days. I did all my homework, so I was like, I don't have time for church, and, like, put it off to the side. And then when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, now that I'm in my structure, in my routine again, it is something I want to, like, bring back as, like, a core part of my life. It was, again, it's always been my belief system, but, like, something I can practice more. And, like, so I went on a little journey of, like, finding a church I liked, found one, like, back in January, and have been, like, pretty good about going to church on Sundays there. And then I joined a small group that I do on Tuesdays now, and that's, like, pretty new. And so, yeah, it's, like, kind of becoming a bigger part of my life again, which I'm excited about because it's something I kind of missed and, like, wished I probably would have made a little bit more of a central part of my life in college, but I'm, like, back kind of into the routine now, which is exciting.
That's awesome. You're such a Young Life kid, by the way. I gotta admit.
know.
But to your point, I feel like having, like, the right congregation, like, is such an important part of, like, religion. It's, like, you know, between, like, the traditionalness and, like, you know, the people and, like, all this stuff. I feel like, I don't know, I was talking to Taylor about this last week or 2 weeks ago about, like, you know, it's like having some, like, off stuff can just throw off everything, you know. So I'm glad you found somewhere in Atlanta. Yeah. And how'd you find the small group, actually?
I just went up to, like, the welcome desk after one of the services when, like, I really knew, like, this was, like the people in this service are just, like, young and, like, are people that felt like they were in my phase of life, and I really liked what we were learning about, and so I went up to the welcome desk to, like, introduce myself, and I think I was there by myself that day too. And I was like, hey, I just kind of moved to Atlanta in the last 6 months and am looking to get more involved, and they're like, oh, we have a young adult, like, women's group open if you'd want to, like, do it. And it was, like, only my second time at the church, and I was like, you know what, sure, like, sign me up. And yeah, so that's been really cool, and, like, a new set of friends too. Like, I kind of felt like I'd already met all the friends I was going to meet in, like, the first 6 months, and now, like, my second 6 months, I have, like, new friends that I met through there that, like, live in my neighborhood. We go on walks and go to yoga together now, and so it's cool. I'm glad I sought out that community that I feel like I was, like, lacking a little bit at Ohio State, and it's been cool.
Yeah, I feel like in college it's like unless you, like, make a really big effort, it's like there's just that spontaneity. There's so much going on. It's like, you know, it's hard to, like, fit that in the structure. But
it is.
I'm glad that it sounds like you're you know, reconnecting with your religion.
Yeah.
So shout out your congregation. Shout out Jesus. Most important one. Yeah. Great carpenter, I gotta say. What is your biggest regret?
Maybe, like, little things, like, I got my hair done a few weeks ago and hated it, and I was like, well, that was a waste of $300. That was probably my one, like...
$300?
Yes. And then I had to go back and fix it for free because they realized how badly they messed it up.
What are you doing to your hair that's $300?
So, exactly. It was just not... That was a regret I had.
Okay, sorry.
So, like, I have little things like that where it's like, okay, that was stupid and I shouldn't have done that. But, like, in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. And in the time, you don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, any big things, like, have all gone fairly well. And if they haven't even gone, like, that well, like... Because, like, I guess one thing I could say was I don't think I was thrilled about working for Abercrombie, and I think I convinced myself that I was excited about it my whole senior year, but I just didn't really want to go through the whole re-recruiting process.
Yeah.
And, like, open myself back up to that again, because I was like, whatever, I have a job, I'm so busy, I don't really want to open that up again. And then, like, found out later that Abercrombie didn't work out and, like, had to end up re-recruiting anyway, so, like...
Worked itself out.
It worked itself out, like, that's what I mean, like, everything, and then I didn't have to spend the time re-recruiting while I was in college, because I got to just spend time with all my friends and, like, make the most of college, and then I got to re-recruit when I was at home by myself in the summertime, which was fine, I had the time for it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I think everything kind of always works out how it needs to. My optimism has always helped with that, and if it's something that maybe didn't go well, I, like, learned from it, and I don't think there's, like, anything in my life I would truly regret, and you never even know what the other path would have been. Like, Ohio State was the best thing ever. I also think I could have gone to another school and made it the best thing ever, and, like, I don't know if there's many things I, like, would really regret.
Yeah. No, I feel like you're a cat, always landing on your feet. But,
yeah.
You ever seen that movie, Sliding Doors?
No.
It's, like, a movie about, like, it's essentially, like, two movies in one, where it's, like, I think it's Gwyneth Paltrow, like, you know, on, like, one half of the movie, like, she makes the bus, and then, like, you know, her life plays out one way, for, like, I think it's for a job or a date or something like that, and then the other one's, like, she misses the bus, in, like, whole different world. Like, like you said, like, it's crazy, like, I mean, how things can go, like, one way or another, but, I mean, sounds like, you know, you play with, or everyone's got to play with the cards they have.
Exactly, and you never know what would be, the other option, and if something didn't go well, it's, like, probably for the best.
Exactly, yeah. But who knows? I mean, we're also, what, 23? You're 23, right? Not 20?
I'm 23.
Okay. I was talking to Charlie Baca Friday, and he's 24 already, which is just wild. Like,
he's older than us.
No, like, 23 seems, like, natural, but, like, 24 I feel like is, like, whoa. Like, that's a step right there.
I know. Mike Rath's gonna be 25 in, like, a month.
Nope, that's not real.
It is, though.
People can't be that old, that I know, like, from college. That's not allowed.
I know. Good thing you're living with a young roommate next year.
Yeah, no, I'll have someone to keep all this youth in me, you know, instead of becoming a
You're newly 23.
Come on. One of my coworkers in person, for the days I go in, is in his 60s and is self-described, like, crotchety old man.
Yep.
Every year for Halloween he goes as an angry grandpa just so he can yell at people. But yeah, no, he says he's rubbing off too much on me.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and this guy's working with, like, you were 22 as of last week, and he's probably like, this 22-year-old.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I also don't blame you for not wanting to go back to A&F and having to convince yourself the same thing in high school.
Yeah, well, us and our Abercrombie experiences.
Fuck A&F. Oh, their campus was nice, although I only got to see it, like, for, like, 5 minutes, but...
No, it was great. I had the best time there. I was more like... I think I realized that it wasn't, like, a growing business at the time, and I, like, always, well, like, the advice I was always given by, like, everyone was, like, enter a company that's, like, innovating, and, like, you don't want to enter a dying company because then you're just gonna die with them. And, like, I don't think they're dying by any means, but fashion in itself is, like, not doing well. Not even Abercrombie. And, like, Abercrombie's doing well for fashion, but fashion, that industry is, like, on the decline, and so to set myself up for that just because it's fun probably wasn't going to make the most sense.
Yeah, it doesn't really help that brick and mortar stores are kind of on the decline too, which is where most fashion, you know, comes from. But yeah, talking to the expert here, what am I doing?
Retail expert, just kidding. But yeah, so no, they're a great company though. They really are.
Yeah, shout out A&F.
Shout out A&F, New Albany.
Yeah, you ever go to their cafe? Or I'm sure you did all the time.
Oh yeah, our internship was in person.
Yeah, no, they're all right. We'll say, like, the one thing they did right was their food.
Their food is so good.
Expensive for me, considering, like, you know, that it'd be like an hour and a half of my work would be going to lunch, but good food though.
Yeah, I did STEP that summer, so STEP paid for all my food, so I was at the cafe every day. I'm getting all my receipts.
Still can't believe I missed the STEP email. Like, I'm still mad about this.
People that didn't do STEP because it was too much work, I'm like, you just missed out on $2,000.
No, I wanted to do STEP. They sent me a confirmation email for some reason that I didn't click on, and so, okay, here's $2,000 you're not going to get anymore, so...
Yeah. It was a little tough with COVID. Like, I wanted to do what Sophia did with the Hawaii yoga certification, but couldn't because of COVID. So I ended up having to use it for my internship, which is less exciting, but I got a lot of free calf food.
There you go. Yeah, I probably would have used it for, like, summer, or living in Cincy, because, you know, UC apartment's so expensive.
You slept on the floor, didn't you?
Well, my mattress was on the floor, but...
Yes.
Yeah, no, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Clifton. What are you most worried about?
I don't think I'm, like, actively worried about anything, like, right now. Like, nothing's keeping me up at night.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes a lot of people ask it, and maybe that's why I worry. Like, even just being home and people catching up with me this trip in Columbus, everyone's like, how long do you see yourself in Atlanta? Like, what's your next step? What's your next move?
Yeah.
And I'm not actively worrying about it right now because, like, I'm committed to, like, 2 years in Atlanta, and I'm, like, almost a year in. So, like, another year and some change is, like, I will be in Atlanta for. Yeah. Just, like, my job is a 2-year role, or else you have to, like, give back your starting bonus and all these things. So I'm like, okay, and I like it. So I'm like, I'll be there for 2 years.
Yeah.
My lease, I'm going to re-sign for another year. So, like, it'll be 2 years then. And so I'm, like, not even at my year, so I'm not thinking about what's next right now. People love to ask. When they ask, I feel like I get a little bit worried of, like, do I need to know what I need to do? Like, what's the right decision? Like, is it... Because I love Home Depot. Atlanta's been great, but I don't think it's, like, home. Mm-hmm. Because, like, there's really no one, like... No family there, or
just your Paige and the new friends.
Yeah, which are wonderful, and I'm, like, liking Atlanta a lot, and I would not want to leave right now. But I don't know. So I think that's, like, back of my mind of, like, what's next. But I don't have to worry about it now because I have another year and some change to go before I really have to think about it. But I think about, like, Chicago and New York being, like, such big hubs, and, like, they're going to continue to be such big hubs as people like you who, like, did one more year in Ohio or somewhere that, like, wasn't, like, you knew you wasn't your permanent place, and, like, they're going to keep, and, like, as students graduate, like, this whole senior class now is, like, going to those places, and I feel like the hubs are going to get bigger and bigger, and I'm going to have more FOMO of, like, love Atlanta, love Home Depot, but, like, should I be in one of those places, too? Because I also love them, but, like, the grass isn't always greener.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's, like, back of my mind of, like, just, because it is interesting. I think I was talking about this on our happy hour we had with the Vatican Palace, like, something in post-grad is, like, there's no timelines for anything. I could literally decide I want to live in South America and move there. Like, nothing is stopping you from anything.
Yeah.
You have so much freedom, and, like, with that excitement comes, like, worry.
Yeah. No, I got you. It's, like, I feel the same way. It's, like, you know, I feel like in high school, college, it's, like, you know, you're planning for this, and it's, like, you get to the real world, and it's just, like, now what? Mm-hmm. Like, there's no big goal to work towards, you know?
Yeah. And, like, to know when to leave a job, I think, is even scarier to know when to leave a city, because, like, you spend so much time networking, and, like, people know who you are, and, like, you're probably, like, starting a new company is scary. Like, you're kind of starting from scratch, and it's, like, does that ruin your career to, like, start from scratch versus, like, the community you've built at the current company? And if you like that company, why leave? But, like, if you don't love the location. So, like, there's a lot of factors that come into play. But I'm not worried about it right now. But, like, when people ask, I'm, like, sometimes like, oh, I don't know, like, that is crazy.
Yeah. No, to your point, I feel like you'll get cross that bridge when you get to it. But
exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm almost the opposite when it comes to, like, the city of, like, on the one hand, like, I did choose Chicago because I know a lot of people there, but on the other hand, it's, like, I talked to my sister and my cousin about this. It's, like, there's something, like, freeing, like, going to a completely new place and, like, not having, like, anyone with their expectations of you and just kind of being able to, like, do whatever you want, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. So, we'll see where you'll end up. I mean, who knows? By the time this gets published, you might be in, like, Hong Kong or something.
I doubt it. I'll probably be in Atlanta. But, but yeah, it's exciting but scary. Yeah. And I'm excited for you to be in Chicago. And as someone that just moved to a new city, like, it is very fun.
Yeah, I have to come visit. And I still have to come visit Atlanta,
yes,
like I said.
We'll do it.
Yeah, no, we'll do a Landon exchange program.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, do you have any Landons that you could send over my way so I can, like, go to Atlanta?
You know what? I'm surprised I haven't met a Landon. I feel like that's a southern name.
I've only met one other one in my life, and
Landon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Oh, yes, there's a Landon in my start class.
No way.
Yes.
Wait. How's
Landon Beck. Oh, let me look it up. I actually need to pull it. He just got married.
Oh,
he's
older. But yeah, no, I I've been ON. There was a YN in my high school at some point that I was told about.
Oh.
But I need to collect them all like Pokemon, all the different blank ends.
Oh, it's ON. Landon Beck, ON.
Generic.
Yeah, he's him and his wife and his dog. Family man.
So you can send Landon my way, and I'll send myself your way, and we'll figure it out.
And you're gonna live with his wife?
Yeah, and mostly his dog.
Yeah, I think his dog's name is Maverick. He's so cute.
That's a sick name for a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be living in a dog house.
That's so funny. I forgot about him.
Yeah, shout out the goat.
Yes.
What is the hardest thing that's happened to you this past year?
Okay, I mean, I already talked about this, but, like, it is the answer. It was definitely, like, getting that call in July that my start date at Abercrombie was getting pushed back to February, if that, of 2023. And I think the reason it was hard, because I didn't, like, touch on this earlier, was, like, I'm someone that, like, loves to plan, loves to prepare, and also, like, has very much had the reputation and enjoyed having the reputation of someone that's very high achieving and like always has their next move planned out and like always has the good job. And I think like that was something I like always held very high in like why like I loved having that reputation because I just feel like it was something I was like proud of and didn't want to like let anyone down or like give anyone a reason to like doubt that about me. So like when I got the call, obviously like it hit a lot of like areas that were like stressful. Like one, now not having a plan, like literally being at home and being like, oh my god, I was about to move into an apartment in a month and start my life, and like who knows how long I'll be here, like the uncertainty of it all, the pride of like even though I lost or didn't lose the job, but like it got pushed for like fully economic reasons, like nothing to do with me or my performance.
Yeah, it's
hard not to think of it like that, being like, okay, now I'm like I did all the right things in college. Like, was in all the best programs, had a 4.0, and, like, I now am, like, unemployed, sort of, at like, months after graduation, and, like, have to re-recruit and, like, kind of swallow my pride of being, like, I don't have a job anymore, and I need... And, like, people that are, like, just seeing my resume without hearing my story are probably, like, thinking, this girl, what the heck, she graduated in May, and it's just now, like, let me think about maybe getting a job now. And I was like, the thought of someone thinking of me in that way was like, that's so not me. Like, I had a job for a year. Like, I accepted September of 2022 for September 2023 start date.
Yeah.
And I was like, so for a lot of reasons it like hurt my pride, even though it shouldn't have, because it wasn't anything about me. I made it about me. And also like the uncertainty of it all was like really tough. And it all worked out, which was amazing. But like that probably 2 weeks was like the most I've ever been like rocked in the last year of like, holy cow, what do I do?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, that was tough. I remember hearing about that and just like, yeah, that's just super shitty. Like you said, like there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's just what it was. But to your point, I feel like everything I don't know if everything happens for a reason, but I mean it worked out pretty well considering, you know, Enchanta is it's going crazy right now.
It is. It all worked out pretty quickly too, and I like learned a lot throughout the experience. Like a lot of people were. It was so cool how many people were like down to help and wanting to help. Like I reached out to like one person, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you should talk to XYZ." And it's like those 3 weeks that I was re-recruiting, I was on the phone constantly, like with people just pouring into me and like wanting to help and being like, send me your resume, I'm gonna pass it to here. And like the outpouring of like love from the community around me was like such a cool thing to experience during that time. And then also it's been cool, even though it's sad for these people, but like a lot of people are getting their start dates pushed back this graduating class as well because the economy's not gotten much better.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been the point person, like Ty's been giving my number out to people who like this has been happening to, and like I've gotten to call them and be like, give them the comfort that I kind of needed at that time too.
Yeah.
So I never feel like anyone's suffering is ever wasted. And not that I was even suffering. Like it sounds like a silly problem now. At the time it was dramatic. Now I'm like, haha, that was such a funny time in my life.
It's a pretty valid thing, you know, to not know where your money's going to be coming from for the next, 6-7 months.
Yeah. So it's been kind of cool to like see that like I've been able to like help people who are going through that like this summer as well.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I didn't know that Ty was like giving, I mean, you as a literal role model to everyone that this is happening for now. Like passing that, you know, influence forward.
Yeah. So hard things usually aren't wasted.
What is something that made you laugh really hard recently?
This is so stupid, but I definitely was laughing hard at this.
Go for it.
On Thursday night, I was home in Cincinnati, and, like, everyone was home except for Kylie's in Denver still. But, like, Michael was like, let's watch this show on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave. Have you seen it?
Tim Robinson?
Yeah.
Oh, Bad Dick loves that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, we were watching this one, and it made me laugh so hard. It was these guys at, like, this business conference.
Yeah.
And they, like, walk on stage, and they're, like, the entertainment for the business conference, like, break up the speakers, and it's, like, Tim Robinson and I forget the other guy.
Yeah.
And, like, the people that were reading the, like, agenda were like, oh, the Pointer Brothers are, like, the performers. Like, that's so fun. I've never heard of them. They're probably, like, a band.
Yeah.
And so the Pointer Brothers go on stage. It's Tim and the other guy. And they're like, all right, everyone, stand up. And everyone stands up, and they're like, okay, if we point to you, sit down, and we're going to point to everyone in the room, and then, or else we're not getting off stage. So, like, there's a room full of, like, hundreds of people standing up, and they're just, like, pointing at people. They're, no, I didn't point at you, I pointed at you, stand back up. And they're just pointing at people, and then they had this Barney-looking character come out, and they're like, all right, if this guy points at you, you have to stand back up. It reverses our points. So they're like, and people are like up and down, up and down. Oh my god, it was so funny. And then Michael was like pretending he was the Pointer Brothers all dinner and like pointing at us. And that night was just so funny. And we were just laughing so hard.
Oh, it's such a good show. Is season 3 already out, or is that still coming soon?
I don't know. Like, I don't watch it. Like, Michael was just like, I want to show you like this in particular skit. And so...
Yeah, I feel like I only watch it with Padzik, but it's like everything on that show just makes me die laughing. Like, I don't know, have you seen the one with the hot dog guy?
Yes, the car.
Yeah.
We watched that one too. He's like, I have no idea whose car this could be.
We have to find who did this. Like, I feel like I've used that like that meme in like so many conversations.
Oh,
like,
it's so funny.
What a good show. Shout out Tim Robinson.
Shout out. That made me laugh.
Yeah, so I can't believe he got kicked off SNL after like a year
Did
and a half. Yeah, no, he like was on there and they were just like, we have no use for you. Be gone.
That's crazy. Well, he's done a lot of good stuff since then.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, what was it? It was like Jason Sudeikis, like that era of SNL. It's like very different, like his comedy and that comedy were like very different, but I'm glad he's got back on his feet because like you said, he is hilarious.
He's so funny.
What's your favorite tradition?
I would call this like a tradition in a sense, but like how close I am with my family, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've moved around like a ton. Like I was born in Pittsburgh, then went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, then Erie, Pennsylvania, then to Mason, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
And then my family moved to Atlanta when I was in college, and then back to Ohio into a new house.
Yeah.
So like we've had a ton of different homes, like, and all of us kids have like gone to college in different places, gone post-grad in different places, like everyone's always moving in different cities. And I feel like something that is like really cool is like growing up we always did this, and then like since whenever we are back at home it's like something we all look forward to. And like no matter how, like, because my mom sometimes she gets like deep and she's like even when I was home at my new Mason house that I've only been to a few times, like this past week, she's like, does it still feel like home, like in this house, even though this house is like new and like you've never really like, grew up here, even though it's Mason, it's like a new home. And I was like, honestly, like, yes, because like for me, like home is just like wherever my family like is.
Yeah.
And something like a tradition that I've always like really loved is no matter what house we were at or what city, we always like make the backyard like our place. Like our backyards growing up were like always grass like everywhere, Stella running around, my dad grilling, fire pit is lit, like lights hung. They always make our backyard like some sort of like gathering spot aesthetic, huge family, like 10-person table.
Yeah.
And like when I think of home, I don't even think of like one of our backyards. I just think of like, again, like the scene of like Stella running around, my dad grilling, my mom like setting the table, like all of us sitting with a glass of wine, like, or when we were younger, just juice or something, like outside, and like music playing, like a specific like kind of playlist, like kind of country. And that tradition of like on a Sunday night usually was what we did. And like even when I'm home, like my mom's like, do you want to go out to dinner? I was home on Thursday, I was like, no, I want to do a backyard night. And like they know what that means, like they know that means like my dad's grilling salmon and like we just sit outside and like talk forever. And like a whole family's there, and we did it a lot on Sundays growing up. It was like our big family night, and as long as the weather was nice, like even like in November we'd wear coats and like go out. So
Really?
I feel like backyard days like with my family are like still something that makes it feel like home no matter how many times we've moved, and it's just like something that's comforting and lovely, and I just love that about my tradition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to your point, it's not the specific backyard. It's more the people, the vibes. Like, yeah, that's really cool. I gotta come out for one of these backyard days. You know,
They're
see what
fun.
it's all about.
I know, they're really fun. Just drive down before you go to Chicago.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be in Cincy at least like 1 or 2 weekends before I leave to see Adam.
Yeah, you and Adam just hit up Mason.
Yeah, I mean you said I was gonna come to a McAlmont family dinner.
And then we moved.
Yeah.
We lived in Atlanta when you lived in Mason.
Yeah, you really were dodging me that hard. Just saying.
It wasn't me, it was my family.
Sure, yeah, and I don't have a good follow-up joke.
But no, that would have been fun. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, me, you, Adam, living in the same city, like especially like me working in Mason, like.
I know. I mean, I was working in Columbus that summer, but I would have been home like some weekends.
Yeah.
So.
Again, just avoiding me. I get it. You know, avoid the. You moved
Maybe
all the way
Michael.
I don't think it's Michael. Michael loves me.
You guys never even hung out that summer, and you were both in Clifton.
He was in Clifton?
That summer, yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in Clifton. Yeah, shit.
You missed your chance.
I did. No, I feel like. But he was doing football stuff though, right?
I don't know. I think he was in summer classes that summer.
I don't know.
Maybe football. I forget.
Michael, I apologize. That's my bad. Yeah, but no, I mean that would have been so fun. Us, all us Mason people going Masoning together.
Great place.
How far was Vinley from your house?
Like 10 minutes probably.
Really?
15 maybe. Yeah.
Damn, that would have been cool. Yeah, I remember when me, you, and Badzik were in Cincinnati and you guys like showed me around.
Mhm.
That was fun. But was that like my first week there, or like what was that? Or was I just visiting?
No, I went out with you guys one night when you were and Adam were both living in Cincinnati. Everyone came down for it.
Oh, my birthday, yeah.
Was that for your birthday? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We went to Mount Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I dropped my phone like down the the stairs or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rowdy night.
And Paige came.
Paige did come, yeah. It was a good time. We went to the Pins there, and then the Irish bar.
That was for your birthday, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a good. That next morning was tough, but it was a good day.
That was such fun. That was like my one time, seeing you guys in Cincinnati before I went back up to Columbus for my internship.
Well, then the next summer we all went down too.
Was I there?
I think you were there. Yeah, it was
Yes.
Yeah. We went to Loveland.
Yes, and we went to the Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
Cincinnati game. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a Cincinnati weekend.
No, I mean that might be a tradition for the future.
That was awesome. We love
the big Cincinnati group. I mean,
yes.
I'm not gonna lie. That Cincinnati weekend last summer was probably more fun than the entirety of the summer before.
That was amazing. We saw Lindsay.
Yeah.
In her house, and it was so good.
Yeah, downtown Loveland slaps.
I was just there with my mom on Thursday too.
And I mean, what was it? Hobsonberry, the place that you like pour your own drinks.
I could not remember the name of it. I was trying to remember the other day, but I couldn't.
I'll throw it like right here or something like that. But that bar where like you pour your own drinks and like you're like charged by the ounce like of whatever you pour. Like that's such a good idea for a bar. You don't even need a bartender.
Yeah.
You just need like a security to like throw people out. Like, hey, you're too drunk.
I know. And we all piled into Adam's car.
10 people, 1 car. Yeah.
Amazing.
I've got that video somewhere.
And he wasn't even driving well. Like, he was still like...
Yeah. No, I mean, he was driving how Adam drives, which is like...
He's like, I'll drive carefully.
Like, if you're the only person in the car, it's fine. But once you have, like, more than one person in the car, it's like... What's going on? Like,
I know.
Yeah. That man, he needs a driver's test again. Like, I swear. I've never seen him go, like, under the speed limit.
He's crazy.
Were you in our car when we got that ticket? Yeah.
In Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep. I was.
Yeah.
That was sad.
Yeah, but that Ferris wheel was worth it, though.
That was so worth it. Me, you, Sophia, and Adam.
Yeah, it's a good picture. I'll throw some of that too.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of pictures for ours. I love it.
Yeah, no, we always said like we had such photogenic pictures.
We do.
You know, like
we do. We have a lot of good pictures. We would take those individual ones. Yeah.
Yeah, like the one in I feel like there's one I'm thinking of right now specifically.
The Vatican.
In Cami.
Oh, there's that one too. There's a goat in the Vatican with us as well.
Yeah, no, the pictures galore. I'll throw a couple more up here. You know,
yeah.
Just all the good memories.
Yeah, we look good together.
Who was your hero?
I would say my mom for sure. She is like one of the best people I've ever met, and I definitely strive to be as thoughtful and caring as she has been, not only as like a mom, the most amazing mom to 5 kids, but like my favorite like anecdote about her that is like describes her perfectly was like she went to school for business because like her parents were like, that's how to get a good job. She was a baby boomer, like jobs were scarce, so she like did accounting, killed it, like Big Four, like was driving her red BMW, like smart, amazing girl. But then like when she started having kids, she quit her job, like took some time off obviously to raise us, and then like when we were kind of at the age where we could like fend for ourselves, she was like wanting to get back to work, and obviously she's trained as an accountant, but was like, no, like that's not at all fulfilling to me in any way. Like I want to do something that I care about. And at the time, like both her parents had passed away from like mistreatment in like nursing homes, indirectly or directly, like was not a great experience. Like from them being in nursing homes, we like saw how terrible it can really be there, and like for like the care for these people, and like there's not enough staff for them and all of this. And my mom was always kind of like thought about maybe wanting to be a nurse, but like this really solidified it. So she like went back to school at age like, I think it was like 52 or 53-ish. Went back to UC for nursing school and got her license, not like an RN, but like enough to like work in nursing homes, and has like worked as a nurse in nursing homes ever since then as part-time. And she's 62 and still doing it. Like she's like lifting these people and like doing like she's like doing hard manual labor and like doesn't have to like in any way. Like we are very set. My dad does a great job. Like this is not because she wants to make money or needs to make money. Like it's purely like she just thinks like this is her way to like give back and like really pour into that community in like a way she can serve them. And I just think it's like the coolest thing that like that's what she chooses to do in her free time, when she could easily be like the yoga mom or like the shopping mom. Like she's like, no, I'm gonna work in a nursing home. And I like love that and like aspire to be more like that when I'm older.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, like you said, like just the things she went through and like giving back to, like, you know, just seeing how directly that like affected her, and just like her choosing to like do something about it for like as much as she can for everyone else. Like that's awesome. And shout out Mrs. McCalmont.
Shout out, love ya.
What is the best thing that's happened to you this past month?
It's not like the best, like nothing like crazy happened, but I'd say like my favorite like weekend in Atlanta happened since I've lived there. And it was just like such a good, it was probably 2 weeks ago. We like had a really fun spelling bee with my friends, like a tipsy spelling bee. The next day I went on like so many walks all day long, went to my favorite yoga studio I've found, went to the Quinn 92 concert with like a bunch of really great friends. Sunday like went to church, had a picnic in the park and a pool day that afternoon. And like it was just, I like remember like thinking back at the end of that weekend, and I was like, I just had like this moment of like, oh my gosh, like I'm just so happy. Like I have these amazing friends here, and I live in this really awesome city, and I think I was just like such a high. And I think I had a really good week at work that week, and I was just like a really good presentation that Friday to kick off the weekend too, that like went really well and got a lot of good feedback on. And I was just like, everything just like kind of clicked, and I was like, this is awesome. Like I think life right now is like one of the coolest phases, and like I was scared for post-grad because everyone's like, it's never going to be as good as college, but I was like, this weekend was awesome, and like I really love my life right now.
That's awesome.
And so I think that was like not something that happened to me, but like that weekend I just remember feeling like such a high after.
That gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious, how does a tipsy spelling bee work?
Oh my god, I was so bad at it. We like all brought 5 words that like aren't crazy, but like I think I put the word like onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Or like someone put the word definitely in, which is a hard word to spell.
I have like a 10 commandments of my life, and one of the things is I just don't know how to spell definitely.
Same. No, and that was my first word. Got it wrong.
Shit.
Second word I got, so yeah, we all brought like 5 words, and then we had like a bucket, and we all like made little margaritas, and we had like Jeopardy music in the background, and we had a host, and we like all went up, and like they'd pick a word out of the hat, and they would read it, and you'd have to spell it, obviously, and it was double elimination. So yeah, my first round, I definitely got it wrong.
Don't blame you.
Second round, what word did I get? Oh, I got a hard word second round. I got dis and establishmentarianism.
That's the longest word in the English dictionary, right?
I think.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I'm definitely something I've never been able to spell. That one, the second one, dis and establishmentarianism, I probably could have if I was writing it out, because, like, you can, like, read. I lost track of where I was. It's so long. And, like, I was, like, trying to, like, write it in midair, because, like, I just couldn't, like, stand there and stare at everyone and be like, D, E, whatever, like, because you lose track of where you are in the word.
Yeah.
So it was harder than I thought, and I got out second round, so I got both my words wrong. But that's okay. Yeah. It was really funny.
No, I can imagine. Or when I was pledging, we had a spelling bee. And,
you did?
Yeah, and the two words we got, or that I got, that I fucked up were margarita pizza, because that H is just somewhere in there. You just
somewhere.
Forget where.
Is it after the G?
I think, but don't quote me on that.
I don't know either.
Spelling's hard.
Spelling's really hard.
But then the other one was the NBA superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, yeah, I know his name, but I couldn't spell it.
Yeah, no, it's like Antetuompo, something like that. But like it doesn't sound how it's spelled.
Yeah.
It's like I only know that because I've tried to drill into my brain since then, because in case anyone's like, freeze, spell Antetokounmpo or you're dead.
I should know how to spell definitely. Like, I really need to learn.
No, I have it I have what I think definitely is autocorrect to my phone to the right one, because because autocorrect always is like, do you mean defiantly? I'm like, no, it's not. It's definitely. Or
Why
I'll just
is it the hardest word? I don't get it.
No, like, is it the I before E, or like what? I don't even know. Like it like.
Could you spell it right now?
No, IDEF. I think it's IENTLY, but I know that's wrong.
I think it's INTELY. TELY.
That's spelled wrong. Whoever spelled definitely the first time, just like, you got it wrong. Like, they just need to own up to their mistakes.
I just say deaf.
Yeah.
I def think we should do that.
Yeah. Or, I don't know. I try to like use like synonyms, you know, like theoretically, or I don't have another one off the top of my head.
I for sure think we should do that.
Here we
I
go.
say for sure a lot.
Yeah. No. For whoever's transcribing my life right now, I say definitely too much, so I apologize for that. Especially during this entire segment of spelling definitely. What do you think your past self would give you now?
I think you should be really proud. If I'm saying past self as high school, I'll say that.
Sure.
High school, I went to such a big high school, like 1,000 kids per grade. And because of that, like, I didn't make a lot of close friends, because I was, like, spreading myself so thin across, like, all these organizations, and, like, I just didn't see, like, I had, like, one best friend, but I really didn't see the need for, like, a really tight group of friends. I guess I thought I had it, because I had a lot of friends, but, like, quality over quantity in terms of friendship, but I was just, like, quantity. And so I feel like the thing that my high school self would be most proud of is, like, my, like, quality of friendships now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am in awe of, like, how amazing my college friends were, and, like, the group we, like, created freshman year.
Yeah.
And, like, it's something I did not have in high school. So I think that's something that she would be like, that's awesome. Like, I'm so proud of you for having, like, these amazing friends. And, like, to know what true friendship looks like now. So, like, then college taught me that. Like, when I moved to Atlanta, like, it's something I've sought out and practiced. And I'm, like, starting to build, like, a secondary, like, really great group of friends there because of, like, what I learned about friendship in college, and, like, the expectation I have for friendship now is cool. And then, like, my, like, freshman year, like, AK Side Pledge self would probably be super proud of the job I have. And, like, I think something I'm also really proud of is I've always told myself I will never do a job I don't love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've stuck with that. Like, I probably could have, if I wanted to make a lot of money, or, like, I don't know, I could have, like, done what people saw as successful. Like, I could have gone the finance route or something. Like, I could have done that. Like, I think anyone can do anything.
Yeah.
But, like, I stuck to, like, marketing major because, like, that's what was fun for me. And have, like, found a job that really translates to those skills. And, again, it's still fun for me because I kept pursuing that and, like, made sure I found a job that, like, yeah, may not be what people say is, like, oh my gosh, Shannon works at this company. Like, it's not prestigious, but it's, like, awesome that my 40 hours are, like, spent doing something that I care about.
Yeah.
Versus, like, not. And I think she'd be really proud of that. And getting out of Ohio probably, too. Being, like, go you. So.
Yeah.
I think they'd be happy.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I don't know, I feel like as long as I've known you, you've always been, for lack of a better term, like a go-getter. It's like whatever, like, you set your mind to is, like, what you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I don't know, I feel like this is, like, exactly, maybe not exactly, but, like, you know, I agree with you. I feel like past you would be like, I got all the things I won't set out to do. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And looks pretty swaggy doing it, I gotta say.
Thanks.
What do you think your purpose in life is?
I think it's, like, 2 parts. I, like, don't love personality tests or anything like that, but my friend Paige is, like, really into Enneagrams. Like, Enneagram types, have you heard of those? There's, like, 9 personality types, and you, like, I don't know if you can take a quiz or whatever, but you kind of fit into, like, one, with, like, wings to, like, other ones, I guess. I don't know. When she was describing it, I was like, okay, another personality kind of quiz, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you're such an Enneagram 7. And I was like, okay, what's an Enneagram 7? And I'm going to read it because I think this describes, like, my personality more than, like, any other sort of personality test has ever done.
Yeah.
And I, like, read it even to Hudson the other day when we were talking about it. And he was like, oh, my God, that was literally you to a T. And here, let me read it. So it's called The Enthusiast. 7s are extroverted, optimistic, versatile, and spontaneous, playful, high-spirited, and practical. They can also misapply their many talents and become overextended, scattered, and undisciplined. They constantly seek out new and exciting experiences, but can become distracted and exhausted staying on the go. They typically have problems with impatience and impulsiveness. At their best, they focus on talents worthwhile and goals, becoming appreciative, joyous, and satisfied. Our basic fear is being deprived or in pain, and our basic desire is to be satisfied and content and to have all their needs fulfilled. So that's, like, so me in so many ways. And so I think in my own bubble, like, me in a vacuum, I've, like, realized my personality type's purpose is to be happy. Like, a long story short, like, that is how I live my life, is to, like, again, I was like, I'm never going to do a job I don't love. I'm never going to do something I don't want to do. Like, I'm just seeking contentment and happiness and fun experiences, and, like, how I've prioritized travel and how I've prioritized, like, my day-to-day, like, work-life balance. Like, I've never worked past 4:30 because I'm like, I don't want a job where I have to do that because that wouldn't make me happy. And, like, I like having my whole 6 hours in the evening for, like, fun. And so my sole in a vacuum purpose is to be happy, essentially. I think with that, once you are a content and happy person and, like, have worked on yourself in that way and you've given yourself the time, I also think, like, then my purpose in life is, like, to love others and, like, help them kind of with their happiness and, like, to get other people to achieve that as well, like, through, like, being my optimistic self, through being a good friend, through being a good daughter and, like, checking in on people, through community service and, like, bringing people's essential needs to them.
Yeah.
So I think it's, like, a 2-parter, like, working on yourself to the point where, like, you are so happy and, like, can be your best self for then other people.
Do you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs by chance?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so the top is the self-actualization, but then some people have theorized that, like, above that, after you self-actualize, like, there's another thing of, like, I forget what the word is, but it's, like, helping other people self-actualize. So
yeah.
Kind of sounds like that.
Yeah. I do think that's kind of how I view it.
Okay. But I'm surprised you pulled out the personalograms rather than Myers-Briggs.
I hate Myers-Briggs.
Come on, you're not an EFTS or whatever they're called?
I those, like, are so crazy. Like, even the first one, introvert versus extrovert, like...
You can be both.
You can so be both. Like, I'm an extrovert more so than introvert, so I would always be an E. But, like, my recharge... I need my alone time, too. Like, I fully need my, like, Sundays to, like, not speak to anyone and just, like, do my own thing. But, like, people would be like, oh, that's not a true extrovert because you're not getting your energy from others.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel like, between, I don't know if it's, like, the drinking part or just the actual social life part, but I feel like, you know, college you go out, like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday every week. But now it's, like, Friday or Saturday is good. Maybe Thursday, depending on if people are partaking, but... I need a day off.
Yeah.
Like, I need sit in my house, maybe watch some YouTube, work on some podcast stuff. Like, just do me. Like my stomach can't, or I don't need the alcohol 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
But sometimes the people too. Like it's nice to enjoy your own company.
It is. So I don't like Myers-Briggs. Long story short.
Yeah. Don't tell Kathy.
I won't.
Yeah.
Don't listen to this, Kathy.
If Kathatron ever finds any of this, well, she's gonna hear some stories she's probably not gonna like, but she probably will hear some more stories that she will. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think she'd be proud of us.
Yeah. Go Mel.
Go Mel.
Rush. Are you fulfilled?
I would say so. Yeah. I feel like my fulfillment comes from being challenged, always having like a goal to work towards, and also just like overall like the contentment. Like I really enjoy my job. I really enjoy my friendships. I really enjoy my city. I've said that all a million times because like I think like I am just so happy right now.
Yeah.
And I feel settled. Like I think that's a really good way to put it. Like not my whole time in Atlanta, like a lot of that was working towards what I'm at, but I would say as of like February, March-ish, a flip switched of just like I'm finally like comfortable in all areas, and like I feel like I don't have to like I used to like not be able to say no to things because I was like, oh, people are gonna forget about me, or like I want to make sure like I'm making the most of Atlanta, and now like it's clicked where it's like if I'm tired, I can say no to that friend group because they're still my friends and they're not gonna care if I'm like they're not gonna be like, oh, we're not inviting her next time. Like I just feel settled in a lot of areas. I feel like I'm like finally like really contributing to my job in a good way, and yeah, I'm happy.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Shout out Atlanta Shannon. I'm telling you, she's killing the game.
Yeah.
More so than Columbus Shannon, in my opinion.
Probably. I mean, I would never know what my life would have been like here. I really don't.
I more meant like college Shannon. I feel like not the fact that you didn't have your shit together in college, but I feel like this is like adult. Like,
it's adult. Yeah. Yeah. I'm less scatterbrained.
Yeah. More home focused on getting people the tools they need to build their perfect homes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'll figure out a better pitch for you later.
Great.
Where do you see yourself going the next 5 years, both personally and professionally, but more on the personal side?
I don't know exactly like what city I'd be in. Again, that's like comes from that worry question, like who knows.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that point I would like to like have the person I want to marry in my life. I don't think I would be married in 5 years, but I think I'd want to like be seriously dating someone and kind of enjoying, like my boss is 28 and like I think her life is like pretty cool right now. Like her and her partner are just like, they are a unit and they're traveling and they have the money to be able to do that, and they are just like living the best life pre-kids and like pre-marriage, and I like hope I'm like at that phase where I'm just like, your late 20s are like the coolest time of your life because you have the energy of still being young and are able to still do things without people being like, oh, you're too old for that.
Yeah.
But you also have like the money to make it happen. So I definitely see myself like traveling a lot, having like, and then kind of tying into professionally. Like I would see myself, if I stay at Home Depot, at that point I'd be a merchant, which would be like that top, like not end goal because you can work up from there, but like that's like the like it'd be at my at 28 I'd be like hitting that hump of like crossing into that realm, which like they're running the show, like they are like killing it, like that you've made it at Home Depot when you become a merchant. So like I think I'll be like basking in that and just enjoying that time before like my 30s. I see myself like starting a family.
Fuck yeah. No, I'm excited to see where you go in the next 5 years. Like,
yeah.
To your point, like I feel like 5 years makes sense, but like 28 is like I don't know if you're the first person I talked to that's like 23 and pointed it out, or if it's just whatever, but like that's so weird to think that like 27 again, like to the whole like 23 versus 24, like 27 versus 28 sounds like so different. You know?
It is crazy. It's definitely older, but like we met 5 years ago. So like that's how long 5 years is.
Really? Oh shit, you are right.
We met in 2018 and it's 2023.
That's not allowed. No, it's not been 5 years.
So it's one more of those.
No, I'm 18. I'm just getting into college. I'm about to hit puberty, hit my growth spurt.
Like it's gonna come soon enough.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know about you. I feel like time's moving a lot faster, especially like now in the working world where it's like you work for the weekend and the weekend goes like that, and then you work for the weekend, the weekend goes like that, and then it's just.
Honestly, I think I may have told you this, I can't remember. When I see your Record Thursday posts, that's when I know how fast time's flying.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see that and I'll be like, I swear I just saw this last week. I swear I just saw this last week. And, like, now I'm like, I've probably seen 30 of these. How's it been 30 weeks? Like, something about your Record Thursday post, I'm like, what the heck? Time is going fast.
Yeah. No, every time it's, like, Thursday, I'm like, oh, shit, like, it's already Thursday. Like, it's time, like, I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
That and, I don't know, now, I've been taking a little bit of break.
Where is your record?
Oh, right over here. The camera's on the player, but one of the first things I do in Chicago, well, after living there for like a month or so, to like see how like actually expensive it is, like to live there like month to month. But I'm gonna splurge on a nice record player and setup because like this one, don't get me wrong, it's a great one, but it's like definitely like a starter one. I heard it's also not the best for like your records. It might like some stuff it's missing for like record protection stuff, but yeah, no. Once I get that. Record Thursday is back. We're going back full force, you know?
Love it.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good time.
But yeah, time flies. And that's proving it.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we graduated a year ago. It's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So 5 years? 28?
We'll see what happens.
Okay, at the time, though, we would have been like, what the heck?
Yeah.
What are we going to do after college? So.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't think either of us would have said, you know, Home Depot, their super experimental new place, and then Nationwide Insurance in Columbus, fully virtual.
Fully virtual, yeah. That would have been a big. No one worked virtually.
Yeah, or even hybrid.
Pre-COVID,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's either like you're. I mean, unless you're like in like on a call center or something like that, like. Mm-hmm. That's so weird. I didn't even think about that.
I know, so it's hard to predict. We would have never predicted this, but I just hope I'm happy and like I hope I'm like. Living it up.
I think you will be.
Yeah. Because again, my purpose is to just be happy and satisfied.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to have done by the next time we film another podcast episode? I don't know when that'll be, but I'm saying 3+ years from now.
I'd want to figure out where I want to like settle down.
Mm-hmm.
Or not be settled down, but like maybe whether it's Atlanta or like another city. I think I'd want to have that clarity.
Okay.
Of like where I'm living at that time. And then I do think grad school's on my brain. And I think it'd be interesting to like see where that would play in next time we talk too.
Mm-hmm. Any idea what you want to do for grad school? Or?
I want to get my MBA. I think it'd be really cool to get it abroad.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So that would be interesting to like hear where I'll be living and where my career's at, whether I'm like really like pushing through my career or like feel like I need a pause and like get to like go live in Europe for a year and get my MBA or something.
That'd be sick. Any or of the European countries, anywhere you would specifically want to live for that year?
No, I don't know. It's free. You're getting your MBA is free in Germany.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't speak German, so.
Yeah, I also don't blame you because they'd be like, Geschenkel, do you want some Wiener Schnitzel and some? Well, they do have really good beer, from what I've been told, but.
Yeah, I'm more of a cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah, I got you.
So no, I'd look into it when I got to that point, but I think I'd be interested to hear. Yeah, what all I was up to in that sense of life.
Yeah.
And where I'm living.
And all your accomplishments, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Well, that ends the conversation part of the podcast.
Oh.
Wrapping up, I've got some quick hitters for you. So,
okay.
First thing comes to mind, if you need time to think, go for it. Just try not to overthink it.
Okay.
All right, this is a moment in the mind of Shannon Nicole. Fuck, I did it again. McCalmont. The Nicole's throwing me off. It's
oh
like
my gosh, that's so
This
funny.
is so embarrassing. Like, I like, I gotta step up.
Wait, we known each other for 5 years.
I've known you for 5 years, and I can't think of your, like, I think it's the fact that I had you for, like, 2 or 3 years on my phone as Shannon Shelby, and I don't know why.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Well, I mean, like, I know Sydney Rogers, even though she's in my phone as Sydney Evans' friend.
Yeah, I don't know what's... You know my family.
I know your family. I've met your family a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen Steven grow up from, like, you know, a child to...
He's 17.
17,
He's a girlfriend
Jesus.
now.
Jesus. Where's he going to college, by the way? Does he know?
He is another year, but he wants to go to UC.
Let's go. Go Bearcats.
Yeah.
Alright. What's the song that's stuck in your head recently?
Last Night by Morgan Wallen.
Bang. What's one of your favorite quotes or lyrics?
Keep Me Where the Light Is. John Mayer.
John Mayer. What is the best show or movie you've seen in the past month?
I watched Queen Charlotte on Netflix and it was pretty good.
What's the best thing you've binged recently?
I mean, I guess probably that. I really haven't watched much TV recently.
I gotcha.
I wouldn't even recommend it that highly. It's just been the one thing I watched in the last probably 2 months.
I gotcha, yeah. What's the best book you've read recently?
Oh, I really liked The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Alright, would I like it? Better question? Or other
Depends.
question?
Do you like romance?
Romance or erotic stuff? Like the
It's
stuff,
not erotic.
Okay, cool, because the stuff Caitlin reads is not really my cup of tea.
No, it's not erotic. It's about this like movie star who had 7 husbands in her life, and everyone just thought she was like this person that jumped from relationship to relationship, but actually she walks through like each relationship and why she was in it, and it was like super interesting.
Interesting.
I liked it a lot. I think it's a read you would like to.
I'll add to the list. This
Okay.
The secret of these end questions is just adding things to my list.
Yeah, I don't think you'd like Queen Charlotte.
Yeah, no, it does not sound like from the little I know about it. Yeah. What is your current job?
I work as a merchandise planning analyst for the Home Depot Design Center.
Do you want kids? If so, how many?
I do probably 3 or 4.
What's your favorite spot to eat nearby, whether it be sit down or fast food?
Here, North Star, 100%.
Okay, that shows well.
Yeah, love North Star. And then in Atlanta, I would say has been, a place called Bar Taco. It's sit down. But both these places are like fast casual, I would say. Yeah. It's similar to North Star.
Gotcha.
Best margaritas in the world. I've never really liked margaritas, and I'm obsessed with them now.
I'll have to come try it out.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. What is something that's underrated?
Walking without any music or headphones. I feel like I'm always like, I need something in my ears. I need like constant stimulation, or if like I'm going on a walk, I'm gonna be bored if I'm not calling someone or like listening to something. But like I've purposely or accidentally forgot my headphones recently on my like really long walks I've been doing, and it's so refreshing. I like actually am. That's underrated.
Oh, I agree. There's something to being like alone with your own thoughts.
Yes.
Like maybe like seeing like nature or some like passing by, but like it's great experience.
Yeah, it's a good like actual meditation versus because I'm always like I need to be stimulated constantly with noise of some sort. So doing things in silence is good sometimes.
I agree. What's your biggest hot take?
I have to sleep with socks on. It's better.
Like they stay on the entire night?
Yeah.
Gross. Like
love them.
No, I think that the feeling of taking your socks off in bed is great, but like, no, that's grody. I'm sorry. Alright, not as bad as I knew a girl who liked to sleep with jeans on.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, no, that I think that's like a one step below that.
I just hate the feeling of sheets.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the exact opposite. I love being under sheets. Like I'd rather
I don't use sheets.
I'd rather not have anything on and be under sheets than be fully dressed above the sheets.
Yeah, I do a bottom sheet because that's normal. Yeah. But no top sheet. I just have my comforter and my socks.
Okay, that's a hot take. I've been struggling, or some people have not been giving me a very hot take, so I'm glad you actually gave me some.
Anytime.
Yeah. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Talking during any sort of TV show or movie. I hate it. My mom always asks questions, but we're not supposed to know the answer yet. Like, that's how the setup of a movie is.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, we're going to miss the whole movie if you ask these questions.
Yeah.
So, that's my biggest pet peeve.
I feel you. What's your biggest insecurity?
I know I'm like a fun person, but I don't think I'm that funny. But I'm not that insecure about it. I just know that about myself.
I gotcha.
But like sometimes when people like are like really witty and quick, I can't be witty and quick back, and I just like laugh it off.
I gotcha. Oh, being funny or what's the old quote? Death is easy, comedy is hard.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, I really don't think about it much, but if I had to say something, I think I'd say I wish I was like witty.
I gotcha. What's your favorite quality about yourself?
My optimism. I mentioned it before, but that's definitely the favorite.
Gotcha. Do you have a favorite outfit?
Ooh, I've been really loving skirts right now. Like low-rise, long skirts and like a little crop top kind of thing has been like really fun. I feel very confident and they're really flattering and like fancy and cool and like different. So I've been loving that.
Any specific skirt and top combo come to mind, or?
I like my outfit I wore to your birthday.
That's a great outfit, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some combo of that.
Yeah.
It's like a black silk skirt for those watching.
I gotcha. Yeah. I feel like I got like one pic. The only picture I got
with Mia.
Yeah, with when she came into Jordan stuff. But
that was hilarious.
We'll do that for 24. Get some more pictures.
I know. Me and Shiv were literally just talking yesterday. We're like, dang, how did we not get any picture, like a big group picture of everyone?
We're just living in the moment.
We were living in the moment.
Just a bunch of kids having fun, not a phone in sight.
It was so fun. Yeah, I was chatting away the whole night.
Yeah, no, I feel bad because I feel like you and Sydney and Shiv, like. Shiv I talked to like the first like 10, 15 minutes he was at North Star, and then I like didn't see him for the rest of the night. Like Sydney, like outside of like talking to you guys at the table, like I didn't like talk to her the rest of the night. Like I feel like I don't get me wrong, I'm so glad that I had a big group that's like what I wanted, but
it's hard to say hi to everyone.
Yeah, no.
And I knew we'd have today, but also you came up to us at Pins for a little too.
Yeah.
Me and Carol.
Yeah, no, but did not get to do nearly enough rounds as I wanted to, but. Say lovey. I'm just glad everyone had fun.
Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah. What's your biggest hobby?
Right now, I would say cycling.
Dang.
It's very fun.
You're stuck on a deserted island. You can only bring one thing. You can't bring like a boat, and any electronics you bring doesn't have cell service. What are you bringing?
A bunch of paper and pens. I think you could entertain yourself with that. Whether you're drawing, whether you're writing. I could write a whole book on that island. Journaling, I think, is super important. Just like get thoughts out if you're like by yourself.
Yeah.
And like don't have anyone to talk to. So pen and paper for like a variety of different reasons.
Easy fire starter too.
Easy fire starter, yeah. Pen and paper.
Who are your best friends?
Sydney, Kylie, Paige, Sophia are like my core girls. You.
Don't have to throw me in there.
Badzik.
Yeah.
Like honestly, our like big group of Vatican Palace, I could say are best friends. Shiv.
What are you curious about?
I feel like I'm so curious about people. Like I love that you're doing this because like these are just questions like I want to hear about people, and like listening to the ones you put out there are so interesting because it's something that may not always come up in like regular conversation, but it like should. Like it's just I always want to know like more about someone, and like I think specifically about people. I'm super curious about how people were raised and how that has affected them now. Like I love asking people, are they more similar to their mom or their dad, or like what's a way like their parents raised them that has like impacted how they are today. And I think those are like things I care a lot about and I think are very interesting, and just like how we develop as people.
No, I think it's interesting, especially like hopefully I'll be doing like multiple of these and like just seeing how like people change over time. Like it's gonna be so cool to see.
No, I think this is like all up my alley. Like I love this.
Yeah. Plus now I don't know, or have you seen any of the past episodes?
I haven't seen since Ben Pacheco.
Okay, but you knew the questions that were coming though.
I didn't, but you told me when I watched to not like think too much about it. So like that was, how long did you post Ben's?
Like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, so like it's been 2 or 3 months since I've heard them.
Sweet. Well,
like I knew, like I remember the memory one is like a first one.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
The big thing for me is like, or for, like like saying to people like don't watch it, but then like by the time you get this episode in like what 3 to 6 months, just depending, because I'm doing the Hoffners right now, which is in February.
Yeah.
So, but then like seeing everyone. Well, I guess you're one of the loyal subscribers of my channel. So.
If it's someone I'm really close with, I like to hear.
Yeah.
If I have time. But yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like most people, it's like, okay, like when they get the link, that's when they first see the channel and get to like peruse the rest of the.
But I've been knowing you've been doing this for a year, so I was kind of looking out for them.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that like my start date this year was a year removed from the first episode. So I don't know. It's funny how things work, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll be doing this for what, like a year and a couple months, and then done for a while. Although I still have like 18 episodes to edit or something like that.
That's a lot.
It's like an hour and a half.
I can't believe how many of these you've done. It's amazing.
Yeah, I just have, to your point, I just have to get in a routine of just doing it. Otherwise, like, there become stretches of, like, a month or two where I don't do anything. I'm like, shit. Like,
yeah.
And I guess there's, like, no rush to get it out, but it's, like, I want to get this done so I can just, like, have nothing on the back burner for it. Because, I'll be, like, another couple months till I finish everything. But
yeah.
I like it. I can't complain.
Yeah,
truly.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Love it.
What is something that you have to do every day?
Do something active. Especially now that I sit at a desk 40 hours a week. Like, I don't need, like, full crazy workout, but, like, if I know I'm not going to have time to do anything after work, I'll, like, spend my lunch break at work doing a lap around the office, and, like, we have a little outdoor trail I'll have to go on. So, something that, like, moves my body a little bit. because I don't drink caffeine. I'm like, there's not a lot I can do to like if I'm feeling like sleepy, except being active like isn't natural caffeine for me, kind of.
I gotcha.
And like it's like an immediate endorphin mood boost.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy how like, moving around makes life easier instead of harder.
Yes, so much. It's always worth it. You can be so tired and like go on a walk and then you're set the rest of the day.
Yeah. No, after this I'm probably gonna get a banana in me and then go work out. So.
Yeah. And then you're gonna feel so great.
Exactly. It's just the time sink. But then like it's crazy because I feel like right before the gym is like the worst part. It's like, oh, I gotta go work out, but then you're there, you feel good, then afterwards you're like, that was a great time.
Yes, you never regret it.
Yeah.
You never regret it.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
My like study abroad in Singapore, that I like did my Puma internship when I was 18 in the middle of a foreign country, not really knowing anyone but Will Hoffner. Yeah. Being the only girl. Like I didn't do much to like earn it. Like I paid to go in this program, but like how I approached the program and how I like spent my summer, I like came back feeling so accomplished, and just the way I was able to just like travel and like in a scary kind of place, like just by myself, and able to do really well at this like internship when I was like 18 years old at like Puma, and the relationships I was able to make there, and just the fact that like I went and did that. Like they told me it was for sophomores and I was like, no, I want to do it now, and I like wasn't even really scared and just like sent it, and I was really proud of myself for like sticking with the fact that I always told myself I wanted to study abroad. And I was like, why not now? Like, why do I have to wait till when everyone else does? And thank God I did, because COVID happened our sophomore year.
Yeah.
And, like, no one else in our grade really got to study abroad unless you went freshman year.
Yeah.
So that was, like, a really cool, like, pat on my back. I felt really proud of myself and, like, felt grown and mature, and it was just a fun time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out Shannon and Asia.
Shannon and Asia.
What a time. Yeah. What's one thing you want to own?
I want to own a home, like, as soon as I can.
Really?
Which is not going to be that soon. But, like, by 28, 5 years, I would like to have my own house.
Yeah,
I really would. Yeah, I think, like, especially now working in home decor.
Yeah.
I, like, want to, like, decorate my own house and have that be my own and make it, the most of it. Because it's funny, on my team, I'm the only one that doesn't have a home.
Yeah.
Like, on my team of 5. And, like, when we're doing projects, like, I'm literally designing kitchens and bathrooms for other people, and though like our coworkers are always talking about like, oh, and like this, I like repainted this, or we're getting new cabinets, or like I'm redoing my guest bathroom, and they're always talking about home projects and like relating it to our jobs, and I'm like, I live in an apartment, can't do anything.
You're practicing at work, practice at home.
I know, so I'm excited to like get one. I want to own a home for sure, because I think rent is just the stupidest thing. So I'm like ready to do that. Not now, but like by 28 I want to have my own home.
What do you think the price of gas will be by the next time we film?
I'll just say $3.80. Inflation a little.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
It fluctuates so much though, so.
No, like it's been all here there, especially in the last year. Like last year when it was like $5 a gallon. Like.
Yeah, and that was just random because supply chain, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's better now.
Yes. We'll say $3.80. I don't know.
I gotcha. Where do you want to visit next?
I want to visit New York and Chicago this summer. Even though I've been to Chicago a million times, I've never been to New York City.
Really?
And I have friends, obviously, in both that I really want to see. Well, they're like, because they're cities you do in the summer, for sure. Because the winters are bad there. So those are like my next, like, little trips I want to go on this summer. Because I don't really have any big vacations planned. But, like, my next, like, big vacation when I, like, have money to, like, travel abroad again, I would say I really want to do somewhere in South America.
Really?
We never got to do our Brazil trip in cohort, and that's always like hung on my head. Like I would love to go, like Brazil, Chile. Yeah, because I've done Europe, I've done Asia.
Yeah.
Like that would be like my next big trip.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself doing that for a couple more years. But like that's what I'd want to do.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's one piece of advice you have for yourself, for the world, for me, whoever?
Speak your goals and wants and desires into existence. And manifesting, I think, is like a silly concept that when people talk about it in like a certain way, like it's very taboo. Like manifest, like what does that even mean? But when I actually break it down, I think like just talking, like, people are scared to talk about their goals and their wants and their desires because if it doesn't happen, then people are kind of holding you accountable. Like, it makes it real when you say it. And I think when you say it, it makes it real for yourself. It makes it, like, an actual goal of yours. People can hold you accountable, and even though that's scary. And people can help. And I think that's something that, like, in college, let's say, like, my dream was to get into cohort or something, which it probably was at some point in college.
Yeah.
I was, like, scared to tell people that. People would ask me, like, oh, yeah, I'd consider it, even though in my head I was like, yeah, I want to do that, and I'm going to apply there. But, like, me saying that then gives people the reason to be like, oh, did you get in? Like, oh, how'd your interview go? And, like, if those things weren't going well, I wouldn't have wanted to tell anyone. But, like, saying, no, I want to get into cohort, people are like, oh, my gosh, let me help. Let me tell Ty that you're interested. Let me read your application. Let me, like, help you interview. Mm-hmm. And, like, same thing has happened, like, I would find out people were applying to Abercrombie and not telling me about it, which, like, again, they don't have to, but I was like,
yeah.
Shoot, if they would have told me they were applying, I could have called the recruiter and been like, I have a friend applying, and they would have been like, perfect, we'll get her the job. So it's like, it's crazy when people don't speak what they want into existence, in my opinion, because, like, again, you're not really, like, making it valid for yourself, or, like, you're closing yourself off to people that, like, could easily help you without you having to even ask for it.
Yeah.
So I always think it's good to, like, speak what you want into existence. I don't think it's a universe thing that makes it happen. I think it's just, like, you're setting it in stone.
Yeah, it's like, you know, by saying it, or you can't really take it back, so
yeah.
You kind of have to now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. And last but not least, top 5.
Ice cream, yoga, calling your mom, like, listening to your mom's voice, like, actually has proven to reduce your stress.
Really?
Like, hearing your mom's voice. You don't have to see her. It's, like, a whole study done. It was actually really cool. Dancing. The feeling of, like, absolute freedom. Which, like, when there's moments, like, when you're traveling, I think you feel that.
Mm-hmm.
When you are dancing, I feel like that sometimes. When you're, like, on a run, like, runner's high, like, just, like, that, like, feeling.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good top 5 right there. Good way to round out this episode, too. Yeah. Back from the shadows, from saving you for Columbus to moving to Atlanta to
I know.
Special episode for you visiting.
I love it. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. This was awesome.
This is so fun.
Yeah. How do you want to end this thing?
We can do a TikTok dance.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
What dance are we doing?
You already know the one.
I don't know the one. Like the
21. Can you do
the like I don't. I'm following your lead.
Okay. Wait. We need to. Can they see us?
Yeah. Hold on. You can.
Go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just do 21. Can you do something for me? Can you talk to the up next for me?
21.
That's it. Woo!
Sweet. We're not in your bathroom. How are they gonna know what it is?